I remember the day they laughed the loudest, that moment when I first dared to share my dream. I was just a girl then, eyes shining with hope, voice trembling with excitement, telling my family that I wanted to become a professional dancer. They looked at me as if I'd suggested I wanted to walk on the moon. Their scoffs echoed in my ears, cruel and dismissive. Dancing? That's a hobby, not a career, my father sneered. You're wasting your time, people will laugh at you. It's a ridiculous dream for someone like you, someone who's never even taken a proper class. My mother's voice was softer but equally cold. You're embarrassing us. Why can't you be normal? Find a real job like everyone else. That night, I curled up alone in my small bedroom, tears burning behind my eyes. I felt the sting of their words like 1,000 cuts. My dream seemed so fragile then, like a fragile thread dangling over an abyss of their doubt and disdain. But deep inside, something refused to die. I refused to let their words define me. I decided then and there. I would prove them wrong. I would show them that a ridiculous dream could become a reality. The road was brutal. I scraped by, taking odd jobs to pay for dance classes, practicing in every mirror I could find, every late night I could steal away from exhaustion to perfect my craft. Every rejection, every snub from auditions felt like another blow, but I used it as fuel. I was relentless. Years passed. I moved to a new city, far from the shadow of my family's criticism. I threw myself into every opportunity, auditioning, performing at small clubs, building a reputation bit by bit. The journey was lonely and often thankless, but I clung to my vision. I was starting to see a glimmer of hope. Then, one day, everything changed. A big break, my first professional gig, a major dance company. From that moment, I skyrocketed. My name appeared in the press. I danced on stages that I had only dreamed of. I was living the life I fought so hard for. And yet, despite the success, a part of me longed for home, to stand in front of them and say, "Look what I've become." To see their faces when they realized their ridicule was just noise in the wind. So I returned, not out of need but out of defiance, to show them that their doubts had fueled my fire, to remind them that a ridiculous dream, when chased with unwavering resolve, can become unstoppable. The day I arrived, I saw them waiting outside my childhood home, the same family who had once mocked my aspirations, who had told me I was embarrassing us all. Their faces were a mix of shock, disbelief, and something more, something unspoken. They hadn't expected me to come back like this. I stepped out of the car, dressed in a sleek, confident gown that shimmered under the sun. My hair was styled, my makeup flawless. The woman I had become, unrecognizable from the trembling girl who once hid in her room, crushed by their words. As they looked at me, no one spoke. The silence stretched long and heavy. Then I took a single step forward, my voice steady and clear. Did you ever wonder what happened to that girl you mocked, the one who refused to give up despite everything? They looked away, uncomfortable, unsure. I didn't come back to argue, I continued. I came to show you what persistence looks like, what resilience can build. I paused, feeling the weight of my success, of my journey. You said I'd fail, that I'd be embarrassed, that I was wasting my time. But I'm standing here now, proof that your words were wrong, that dreams are worth fighting for, even if they seem ridiculous to others. A tear slipped down my cheek, not of sadness, but of victory. I hope you see that it's never too late to chase what sets your soul on fire, because I did, and I became more than anyone ever expected. Their eyes widened, faces softening as they realized the truth. I had transformed not just in body, but in spirit. The girl they once ridiculed was now a woman who had carved her own path, defying every doubt. That moment, standing there in front of them, felt like a quiet revolution. Not just for me, but for everyone who's ever been told they're too much, not enough, or impossible. I turned away from them then, not out of anger, but with a quiet, fierce pride. I had proven that the power of belief, especially when fueled by relentless effort, can turn even the most ridiculous dreams into reality. As I drove back to my life, I carried with me the echoes of their doubts, now transformed into silent acknowledgement. I knew I'd faced betrayal, criticism, and scorn, but I also knew that I had emerged stronger, more determined, and finally, victorious. Because sometimes, the greatest revenge is simply living the life you were meant to live, unapologetically and proud.